Oh, okay. Looks like it worked. Hey, everybody. I know YouTube was having issues. Can you guys see that okay? I'm going to sew a pocket together. Please tell me if you can see me and hear me all right. I cannot tell, so I need feedback from the first people that come in here. Hi, Kim. Can you hear me okay? I've got the remote mic attached to me, so I want to make sure it's working. Okay, good. Thanks. Sometimes it has issues, so oops, one more stitch I think will go there. I'm kind of making two bags at the same time, so this is why I'm doing a pocket right now. You have to get all of your pockets and straps and everything done first, whatever you want, before you sew the bags together. So that's why I'm doing this now. Let me wake the iron up again because I want to do a strap momentarily. Okay, 1 sec. I think maybe Joe's on right now, and she's just finishing up, so might be a few people coming in later. But for anybody who's catching this on replay, I will explain this momentarily. Let me just get this finished. Oop, that's a little too far. Okay, that'll do. Doesn't matter too much. Okay, back tack a bit. Okay. Let's cut the threads off. And we need to trim the corners so we don't have bulk. So it's easier to turn out, just nick your corners off. You guys can see that okay? Like that, across the corner like that. Close down to your stitching, but not cutting it off, obviously. Oh, Kim's getting hot. Warming up quickly here. It's supposed to be 90. And a heat index. Oh, gross. It was warmer early in the week, but today's kind of cloudy. We got rain overnight. I hope the light's okay. I opened up the blinds and everything, but there's not a lot of brightness outside. I think it's supposed to be sort of not too bad tomorrow and then brightening back up again. Unfortunately, it's not really raining where the fires are. And those dumb American politicians are bitching about the smoke again, like Canada can control the weather. F off. Really. The wind goes where the wind goes, idiots. I'm just kind of running my fingernail along You guys can see that there. Like my middle finger's inside and I'm just kind of dragging it along the seam. Pushes it out a bit. Not that I have a huge fingernail, but it does kind of work. And I got little short fingers, so it's hard to get in there. Small hands. Kim says, yeah, I heard that. And you're right. Y'all don't control the wind. Like, I know. I mean, honestly, some people are so stupid. Really? A couple of years ago, there was a fire in Washington State, across the border. Smoke came across. Did the BC government complain to the Washington government, say, oh, you better control it? Oh, blah, 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 blah. No, we did not. Always something to complain about. I'm using the pointy part of my scissor. There we go. It's actually not bad poker outer. Sometimes I use a chopstick, but with the angle on the scissors, it actually works not that bad. Closed, obviously. I don't want to make holes in it, but do the best you can. And I'm going to leave this for now because I'm not going to finish it. All that has to be done is close this edge. So actually, if you sort of stick your fingers in where it opens and give it a little tug, the ends will kind of come in. And then I hold it, put it down, and just kind of finger press a little bit. I'm going to stick it under the iron and give it a little helping along. Just one sec. I'll come back in a second here. Oh, it looks like just me and you, Kim, so far. That's okay. We can chat. There. So that's not bad. Put together. What I'm probably going to do, I did this 2 colors because I didn't really have enough of this piece of red, and I just went with the size. It was kind of good. I can check this size again for the pocket, but I think it's something like 7.5 by 7 3/4, and I will fold it in half to get the middle and sew down the middle so you can put a phone in it or something, or maybe one side. I don't know. I haven't decided that part of it yet. So let's put a clip. Just want to hold that semi in place for now. I'm just going to get it out of the way. Actually, I'm going to try to turn the camera just briefly. Kim says I use the tip in my Ginger scissors the same way it works. Yeah, not bad, right? Okay, I'm just going to scoot this camera around so you can kind of see the pressing table. I got to lift it up a little bit. The gimbal's kind of tight, so I might move it in. Just give me a second. I want to see what you guys can see there. There's a pretty long USB cord on it, so I can move it. Here, let me try this. Okay, sorry. Close your eyes for a second. I don't want to make anybody sick. Okay, let's put this down this way. That's not bad. You see what I'm doing? I'm taking a strip. This is 4 inches wide. Way back when I made a bag like this, I don't even remember when, but I did it as a giveaway for when I had 100 subscribers. That was a long time ago. And I originally saw a video from the late wonderful Donna Jordan to make this bag with cat panels. I have tweaked mine a multitudes of times since then, but it is a pretty basic and good plan if you want to go watch her video. And if I remember, I will put in, well, once this uploads, oh, great, there goes my neighbors cutting logs down again. That's a lovely noise. Anyway, oh, there's something in there. Fluffs, something? What's going on here? Okay, I'm going long ways in halves. And I'm going to press it. This is about 21 inches long. 22 maybe, I'm not really sure, I can't remember. I think I originally did my bag with straps that were 20 inches, but I'm also short. So you can adjust your straps as you need to. Okay, now you have a crease down the middle, long ways. So open it back up. And come on. There we go. Okay. Wow, I pressed that really good. Excuse me, sorry about that. So now you've got to press the edges into the middle, but don't go right into where that crease is. Back off a teeny bit. So you can see the crease a little bit, like I'm maybe 1/8 of an inch off. Just a teeny bit, that's all you need. And just go along the edge carefully and press this down. Like so. The reason for leaving the gap will become clear momentarily. This is Donna Jordan's trick and it works pretty good. I got the fan on in here because it's stuffy. That's why the end is blowing a little bit because the fan's kind of behind me here. Okay, I just want to be careful on the end here. There we go. That should do it. That way. Okay. Flip it around. Do the same thing. When I get, hang on. Let me just start this. When I get partly along, I'll try to bring the camera over so you can see what I mean about the gap a little closer. Just a sec. Let me get partway down this. Scoot down along a little bit now. Whoops. Sorry, everybody. Can you see that? See, they're not touching. There's a little gap. I know it's not super clear on this camera, but I hope you get the idea. Sorry. There, okay. So, there's that. Done. Now, let's grab my little piece of batting. The reason I make these for my cruise clients and for myself is because other than the batting in the strap, it's just fabric and you can fold it easily, put it in your suitcase, roll it up, whatever you want to do. It's easily packable. So this strip of batting is 7/8 inch wide. And it's just, you just need it long enough to go into your strap. You just cut the end off after, it's not a biggie. Okay, so open up one edge. And if you cut it 7/8, it kind of lays nicely in the channel. And I snug the batting up to this bottom fold. Just kind of scooch it in with your fingers. It doesn't have to be super tight, just kind of cuddle it up there. Like that. It can be off a smidgen, it doesn't matter. Just kind of get it pretty close. And then you fold this over top. The bottom, like the bottom part, the part that's facing me is folded over top. Can you guys see that? Make sense? I'm just going to press this a teeny bit. You don't have to, but I like to sort of firm up this edge slightly without touching the batting, obviously. Just a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to grab my clips. Hold on one second. They're over here. I'll come back to chat momentarily because I can't see it. Okay, so once you have this done, then you fold it over on top. Voila, strap. Okay, makes sense? Another quickie press just to kind of hold things down a little bit. Come on. Make sure that it's over all the way on top. That side was a little bit off. There, that's better. I just double check it from both sides to make sure it's even. Clip it. That part looks good there. Clip it. This one kind of cattywampus a bit, so let's press that better. Make it more even. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Clip. Clip. Okay. Well, strap. Okay. All right. Kim says, I love Donna Jordan. I've watched her videos over and over. I made some of her free patterns and I love them. Yeah, I've made a bunch of her free patterns too. They're all on my channel somewhere on my quilting playlist. I think I've done 4 of them at least. Okay. So I'm going to have to scoot that camera back around now. Hang on one second. Let me get that pocket out of my way. So you can see what I'm doing down here again. Whoops, let's move the cord that way. There we go. Okay. I'll lift up the camera and show you kind of the whole thing in a little bit. I just want to get this strap done first. Okay, now you make sure it stays together. Sew down both sides. I'm going to sew down the open end first, where it's clipped. Sew all the way down, go across the end, sew all the way back up on the folded side, go back across. But I'm going to switch to white thread because I got red loaded in here right now. So just give me a second. I mean, I could use red. It goes with the maple leaves, whatever. Your preference. Your bag, do what you want. You can kind of see here I got like part of it done. I did half of it yesterday, just to have time. And I will show you the lining because one of the bags already has its pocket sewn on. Just give me a second. So yeah, this is going to be kind of boring because sewing straps is not that exciting. Whoops, I need to do that on here. I think we have a strange angle going on here. There we go. It's better. When I go on cruises, I mean, this bag idea would work if you're going to go to a resort or something too. First of all, I don't take my big purse. I have a small travel purse and I have a smaller wallet because I don't take every card I own and everything with me. So when we get in our room, my husband and I put our wallets in the safe. And then I use that bag just for taking stuff around the ship because I put pockets in it. And I can take my phone and my book and my sunscreen, whatever, towel. Although usually they give you towels at the pool, so it's not a huge deal. But, you know, anything you want, just for going from your room out to blank public space on board the ship. Easy for carrying stuff around. Okay. So I'm just going, this is like top stitch, basically. I'm maybe 1/8 of an inch in from the edge-ish. Go back a little bit. Yeah, Kim says that's a good idea. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's just easier for, you don't have to like hold stuff, right? Or if you're going to go down into the gift shop and, you know, buy souvenirs for people or something. Same, going ashore. It's a shopping bag. I mean, obviously, purses and wallets and backpacks and whatever with you for that, but it could be a shopping bag. I don't make these massive, again, packing. I think that cat bag originally that Donna did was like 20 inches high and 17.5 inch wide, were what she cut for all 4 of the sides, right? Mine are approximately that. I think this one's actually 16 3/4. This one that's sitting here beside me, because that's the fabric I had. Like, you don't even have to do it this all in one fabric if you don't want to. I mean, that will make it a bit more heavier because you have more seams, but you could make it a giant 4-patch if you wanted, you know, like whatever. It's your bag, design what you want. And on my bag, I put pockets on the outside too, because that's what I wanted. I'll try to remember after this uploads to put the link to mine in the description box. I sort of sewed it on the fly and explained it as I went, but you guys can see it. Oh, hi, Sandra. Thanks for joining. Come on. I decided to move a little bit inwards on me. Ah, well. It's minor. Okay, I'm going down to around the end, like so. And we'll go across. There we go. Take that clip out of there. Hi, Gladys. Okay. In a minute, I'm going to lift the camera up and show you what I've got so far. Once I get this sewn. I'm going to try to get both of these bags finished up over the weekend, if I can. My friends are going to Alaska next month, so a couple of the people already have bags and a couple of the people don't, so that's why I'm making more. I have another one that's sort of cut, although I didn't really get into it too much. That's the one with the big ships that's in the thumbnail. Because I've got another friend that's going in September, and I wanted to make one for her too, because I haven't made her one yet. There, okay. Now, scissors. Just cut off the flappy bit. You don't need that. There we go. Okay. We're going to a first birthday party tomorrow. Remember last year when I made that baby quilt? That little one's almost 1. Actually, her birthday's on Sunday. So, strap. Now, 1 sec. I'm going to scooch up. Hey. Okay. No, I still haven't finished that. We'll get there. So, this is one of them. I folded the top halfway to get a mark in the middle. I mean, it's pretty much this divide between this ship and that ship, but I did fold it and made myself a mark. And then I measured 3 inches out from that mark, and I made a mark there. So This is 3 inches over to the edge of that strap, and this is 3 inches over here, and that's where I lined the strap up. So they're pinned in place and clipped in place, and all I have to do is sew across there on each side. I go across a few times and back tack a bunch just to make sure they're sewn down pretty good. So I'm going to line the other strap up exactly the same for that other one. So I have to measure it. Oh no, look at that. I'm way ahead of myself. I measured and marked it already. Okay, 1 sec. Let's line her up then. So on this I have, let me put you back down for a sec. I'm used green. You can see that? I got a faint green mark right there. You see that? Oh, that's better. Okay, so that's my mark. So line that strap up on the outside of it. Strap is right. See, line right there. Strap, bring it up. If you want your strap a bit closer in, do that. Whatever. Okay. Clip that on there. And clip that on there. Whoop, stay. And then turn it around. Be careful you don't get it all twisted and weird. Make sure it's straight on there. Line that one up on the other side of that mark. And clip it in place. What's everybody up to on the weekend, or what are you working on? Okay. There we go. Now, just to keep it more secure and straight on, I'm going to pin down here. This fabric is slightly canvasy, sort of, but it's still pretty flexible, so it'll be fine to make these bags, and my friend's going to roll them up. Okay. So those are my bag outsides. 2 of them exactly the same. All I'm going to do to start with is just sew these straps on for security purposes. And then I'll show you what the lining part looks like. Okay, unclip for a sec here. It's going to get sewn around again when I sew the, like, top stitch the top, but for now we'll just sew these down. Now, all the way across. Back stitch all the way to the back. That one looks a bit crooked. Hold on here. There, that's better. Try to make it as 90 degrees on the edge as you can. Can you see it okay? Like I just sort of shoved it in place to make sure it was 90. Otherwise your strap's going to be kind of weird. So let me just hold it down while I put it in the machine here. Oh shit, not on. Oh, pardon me. Pardon my language. That's slipped out. There we go. I had to start this live again. I tried to do the go live and it's like, no, live is not available. And then second time around, no problem. Good old YouTube. Okay. There's that one. Pin out. Throw that on there for now. Second one. Yeah, that one's okay. That one's okay. Excuse me. Okay, one. I think I can do these bags in my sleep almost. To some extent, you can like assembly line them if you know how you want your straps to be and how you want your pockets and all that. You can just kind of bang them all out in one go and then assemble the bags all in a row. There we go. That's what I did in 2023 when a bunch of my friends went to the Med. I did like 6 bags, I think, and I just kind of banged them all out one by one. Okay, that is done. Now, the next thing I have to do with this part, whoops, cut the thread would help. Come here. Is carefully pin these outsides together and sew around, not the top, obviously, but around the outside of it. And for doing this, I tend to use more like a 3/8 inch. See those? Don't put pins in your mouth, Kelly. Okay, that corner. And this corner. And I'm going to box the corners on this, just so it's kind of flattish on the bottom. Okay, for now, that's going to sit there like that. Now let me show you what the lining looks like. And the pocket I already did. Okay. Really tight. Oh, shoot. It's really loose. That's not good either. Sorry, everybody. There's no happy medium on this thing. Sorry. There. Goodness sakes. Okay. So lining looks like it's like the fabric, and I already put the pocket on. There's the top. I am going to load this up with the dark blue thread and sew down like about there maybe before I sew these together. I'll take those over to the mat and give it a quick measurement and mark it, but you get the idea. If I turn this around carefully, you can kind of see what I'm going to do here. Let's just, oh, hello, there's the laptop. There we go. Right. All over the place doesn't help, but I only have so much space in here. Okay, top is this way now. Let me get my. When I did mine, I looked at my video again just to see how I did mine, and I think I went in the middle on the pocket. I went because this is about 7, so I'm gonna make the mark about 3 inches in and go down that way. I think I'll use my bigger ruler so I can draw a line better. Hold on. There, 3, maybe 3 1/4. That way for this part here, you probably could put a phone in, maybe even go 3 1/2. That looks better. It is almost half then. Good enough. Make a mark. Okay. I think I've got some blue. Oh, it's over there already. Okay, we'll put the blue. There, right. You could totally sew this entire bag together with one color of thread. Entirely up to you. I'm being a bit particular, but you don't have to be. And yes, this is the lining of the bag, so it's not going to be super visible, whatever thread I sew this with. But I sewed it down with dark blue thread. I might as well sew that there. I just didn't kind of have time to do it when I put it together. I was in a bit of a rush. Well, I didn't do it already. Okay. When I sew pockets on at the top, especially right here, severe back tack several times just to make sure it's good in there. Out and I just go again one more time. Depends what I feel like. I didn't in this case, but you certainly could do that. And these bags are easy to huck in the wash too if you get something gross on them. Oh, come on. Now my threader doesn't want to work. Arrgh. This little thready doodad on my machine has issues sometimes. Do you guys have that on your machine? Do you have a threader thingy? Come on. Arrgh. Of course, I want to change threads and it doesn't want to work right now. It was working beautifully yesterday. Okay. Gonna thread into the little hooky thing. Oh my God. All right, let's try it the old-fashioned way. This is what I get for trying to change threads. There. Ta-da! Threaded. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, let's pull it up. All right. Okay, once again, at the top, back tack quite a bit. And sew down your line. Okay. Come on. There we go. Now, I'm going to go to the lighter blue thread. I'll probably sew both of these parts together with the lighter blue thread. But I have to make a mark on the side of this lining so I know where I'm not sewing, because that's the turning through part. Oh my God. There's not a lot of blue in this bobbin though, so we'll see how that goes. We'll see. Oh, hi, Lynn. No, you're not late. All good. No worries. Oh, hi, Heather. Sorry, I didn't see you come in. Hi, Joe. How is everybody doing? I was busy sewing away and y'all come in. Okay. Whoops. Oh, just got here a minute ago. Okay, good. I was struggling with threading. Dumb thing. I don't know. Sometimes it acts up. I'm not sure what. Sometimes it's fine. Sometimes it's not fine. All right, let's try this again. Okay. For those of you that just came in, do you want me to show you like the big way what I'm doing? Because I was showing Gladys and Kim earlier. And again, that doesn't want to go. Okay. It's threaded, and I'll pop up the camera and I'll show you. Okay. Sometimes it's easier just to thread it by hand. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, there's that. Lynn says last day of preschool term. So ready for summer break. And Heather's trying to maintain sanity. Yep, that's all we can do, right? Okay, let me scooch this back up this way. Okay, lining. Wake up the iron just in case. Now I've got partially pinned for the exterior of the bag, so I'll just kind of flip it around so you can sort of see it. It's a hot mess right now because I just started to pin. So I have my straps pinned on. And this is the fabric, it's cruise ships. And yes, I have them the right way. The cruise ships are not upside down. I was careful. Yeah, directional fabric, be careful. So now what I got to do is pin the bejeebers out of this, both of them, and sew them together. Except, let me lay that down there. Whoops. Thanks, Heather. I've had this fabric for quite a while. Some was online, some's from a local fabric shop. Whoops, wrong way around. Put the top of your pocket at the top. That's how. Right sides together. And I'm just going to grab a pen and make a mark on it so I know where not to sew. Because that's your turning it out through point. So let's go red so I can see it. Okay. So partway down on one side, like about there, and I sort of give myself a hand. As long as I get my hand there, it's good to go. So right about there, mark that. There we go. Don't sew that part. So this is the easy part. Right sides together, sew all the way around except for the top. And on the lining, leave yourself an opening of your choosing. So I'm going to take the time to pin here. So I was thinking the other day, because one of my colleagues tried to do this a few years ago and it didn't work. And I just sort of had the back of my mind and I never asked you all about it. But I am actually allowed to have clients from pretty well anywhere in the world. And my colleague did try to get a quilting out. I don't know, the reason why. Something happened. So if you want me to try for one, I can maybe do that. If you think that's a viable option. 2028, maybe? Those itineraries are not ready yet for like Alaska, probably easiest. But they will be by the end of the year. So if anybody's interested, let me know, because I can do some research and figure it out. Yeah, sorry, this is boring. I know pinning's boring, but I have to do it. I was pinned like mad anyway. I know myself. Okay, let's go down the other side. Hi, Lynn. The other Lynn Lockhart is in here too. And the other one was Lynn Vilas. Everyone knows Lynn Vilas from the UK. Thank you for joining. Yeah, right. It's better safe than sorry. I'm kind of paranoid about it, actually. Okay, there's my X. So don't go there. Go the other side of the X. I don't have my 1/4-inch foot on right now. I have the foot that's usually like, I don't even know what to call it. It's what I can do zigzags and whatnot with. It kind of has an open spot in the middle, but the edge of that foot is about 3/8. I have a 1/4-inch foot for when I need to do my 1/4-inch accurately. So, but it's not that important for this. And I'll show you how to box the corners after I've done all this. Yeah, come on. Okay. All right. I've had my laptop on battery for a while, and it's telling me to plug it in. So I'm just going to have that many plugs in here. So I'm unplugging the iron briefly because I don't really need it right this second anyway. There we go. Move that around so the fan stays on. There we go. Come on. There. Okay, that's better. All right. Lining is pinned. Put it over there. Pinning the outside is a little bit weird just because you have straps that kind of jiggle around, and so I'm just going to put a couple clips up in the top just to sort of hold it so it doesn't go too crazy. Lynn Viola says, I need to do some mindless sewing just to get me back into the groove. Not doing anything for a while. Yeah, no, that's good. Just make crumb blocks or something, Lynn. That's what I usually do. If I feel like doing like mindless whatever, because you can just kind of get in a groove on it. You know what I mean? As I try to talk with clips in my mouth. Okay, this side looks reasonably straight on, so let's pin this first. I was watching Donna Jordan's video the other day too, just to refresh my memory. For all you that just came in, I was telling Lynn and Gladys that ages and ages ago, Donna Jordan did a bag like this with. So you can look that up. It's pretty easy to find. And that's how I started making these bags. And I have fudged the sizing, and I have done my pockets differently, and I have done everything under the sun in that intervening time. including a bag for myself and a bag for my friend and a bag for a bunch of other friends. And yeah. But Donna Jordan's basic premise is sound. So if you want to follow it, go for it. I do my straps the way she does for sure, because that works out good. Especially for this. And the reason for doing them this way, I was telling everybody, is that the only kind of substantial part is the straps, because there's a little bit of batting in them. But the rest of this bag is pretty light and easily packable, because you can fold it up if you want. That's what I did. Pack in your suitcase. My friend just rolled hers up in like a sausage when she packed hers. Lynn says we have our big festival of quilts at the end of the month. I'm so excited. 2 days of shopping quilts. Oh, that'll be awesome. Oh, Sandra got a phone call. No worries. And Lynn says, yes, you do crumb blocks, but they're probably enough to make a couple of quilts. Just need to work in some time to sew them together. Yeah, I know it gets hard. I did some crumb blocks and orphan blocks in the last Quilters Challenge video, because that was the challenge, was orphan blocks. So I have Fabricland and buy a hunk of batting that's big enough, and then I can quilt it, because I'm just going to run a few lines of quilting along it myself. It's not that hard to do. It's not huge. I'm making another like camping bench blanket for friends. That's what I did with my crumb quilt a while back. The blocks are 12 inches and I do 3 by 5. So that makes a decent size. You can fold it in half long ways and put it on the picnic table bench when you go camping, because those wooden benches are a little hard on the behind to sit down on. So we always bring blankets. Oh, Sandra's internet isn't working. I'm back up. Oh, crap. That's not good. I hope it gets better for you, Sandra. That's irritating. I take everything else off of my laptop when I do live, just because I don't want anything else working on it. I mean, my husband's downstairs working in his office, but because of him, we have massively fast internet, so it never seems to be too much of an issue. Okay, so pin the heck out of it. Now, sew down. I'm going to do a relatively good back tack up here. Sew down all around. Sometimes I take an extra back tack on the corner, like come down, back tack, go around, and then back tack to start and go across. You don't have to, but I sometimes do. It's not really imperative, because you're going to probably like trim that off anyway, that corner, but I also don't want the corner moving around while I'm trying to measure the box. So yeah, I'm probably just being paranoid. Okay, let's line that up somewhat like so. Down, pin out of the way. There, okay. Yeah, that's about 3/8. Close enough. The seam size is, want to do 1/4 inch, do 1/4 inch, whatever. Lynn says, I cannot wait for the festival. I have met so many people, content creators and vendors there over the last couple of years. I love going even on my own. I don't have friends that sew. Oh yeah, that's cool. It's good to meet other people that do the same thing, right? I do have a few friends locally that quilt, but not too many. I guess I should ask all of them about a quilting cruise. I do have a friend she's a quilter, but she's also a scrapbooker. And she wants me to try to organize a scrapbook cruise, which we're going to try to work together on that over the summer. So that might be a thing in 2028 as well, going to Alaska. So okay, doesn't want to flop over and cause a problem. So we're going to lift that up carefully like that. Sorry for blocking the camera briefly. Okay, stay there. I'm going to come carefully down to this pin. Oh, you guys can't see that. Hang on. There. Okay, that's that better? Let's see if that's the right way. Yeah. One more. There we go. This way. Sorry, this is boring. Talk amongst yourselves. We've got some family members coming for dinner on Sunday because it's the last weekend before my daughter and her best friend leave, because they are going on a cruise too. They're flying off to Amsterdam on, I think it's next Tuesday they go. The 22nd? Yeah, I think that's the 22nd. And they're going to spend a few days in the city, and then they're joining the ship, and it's going to Norway for a week. Okay, coming along to this pin again. So let's be careful of the... Ooh, I'm getting close on this bobbin. Oh, see you, Joe. Thanks for coming by briefly. Okay, that's probably too far now. Let's back out. There, that should do it. No, maybe not. Went back one too far. Okay. One stitch. Come on. Well, this is going to get a good back tack now, whether I wanted it to or not. Okay. Now we'll see if this bobbin runs out or not. Haha. As I go down this side. Oh. Yeah, that sounds suspicious. Dang it. Halfway across. Oh, well. I'll just put something random in so I can finish this up. But I am going to rethread with blue. But now I got to make a bobbin, I guess. Oh, well. Come on. Yeah, you're right. I didn't win it. Dang it. I was hoping, Heather. I was hoping. Didn't work out. Yeah, close, but not quite. Okay, I'm going to back up a little bit because it went all weird there on me. Okay. Actually, I don't really suppose it matters what color I sew the lining together with either. Get this pin out of the way. Pin out of the way. Just a second here. Now back we go. Okay, there. Outside of the bag. Except for box corner, good to go. Lining. Where's my marks? On this side. Okay, I think I can sew down to the first mark, and then that bobbin's pretty much had it too. Come on. No, it doesn't want to go. Come on, you dumbass. Ah, there we go. Sometimes you got to call the fabric names. Right? Lynn says, I'm saving money next summer. I'm going to, you're going to come and go camping? Yeah. Sure, Lynn, come on. We can go camping. Okay, let me get that pin out of the way. I'm just about down to that first eggs. There we go. There's one bit. Yeah, that's not that great. I shouldn't have used that bobbin. It's got some left, but not loads. This cream one's got a pile in it. We'll go with that. How particular are you all with your thread colors? I am mostly. When I'm doing the top stitch to get like it's sewn together on the top, I will definitely be using the light blue. Or I might actually look in my random threads and because I have sort of like an aqua color that might work, although it might be too light. I don't know. This blue doesn't look too bad, actually. Whatever. It will be okay. So. Stay there. How are we doing for time? 9:30. Oh, I probably should finish this up. Okay. I think what I'll do is I'll finish sewing this up and then I'll box the corners and show you that and then I'll stop. Because I'm sure you all know how to do this. Because once you have both pieces sewn and the corners boxed, then you have to put the outer part inside the lining with the right sides touching. And then you sew around. Yeah, it's not that hard. You sew around it and then you pull it through the opening and then you stitch the opening closed. It's not that bad. It's kind of self-explanatory, really. So you don't need to see me do that. Okay. All right, coming up here. Heather's not too picky, but it depends on what background fabric I'm using. My last project, I used white in the main blocks, which had no background, and then black for everything else. Yep, that works. Lynn says light on light, dark on dark. She doesn't like seeing the stitches through the fabric. And Sandra uses a few colors. Do whatever works, right? I'm just kind of putting my pins in a pile up there on the table, out of the way. And I'll get my little ruler in a minute and do the boxing. Or at least draw the lines. I didn't realize the time. I'm just carrying on here. Heather has more colors for quilting than for piecing. Yeah, I've got a few colors for quilting too. Because I do, my like quilting on my own table runners and that kind of stuff. And usually something will work. But for anything that's reasonably large, my long armor lives across the street. I just have to save up to get the next quilt quilted because it is kind of expensive. So, but fair enough. She has to run a business and does a great job. And she's not actually that expensive. You've seen my quilts that I've had her do before. She does a great job. And she doesn't have a huge business because she's sort of like semi-retired, so she just does it for her friends. But because she's right across the street, I can ask her or just say, hey, I've got something ready. And if she's not busy, she'll say sure. And if somebody says they're coming and then doesn't, because they can't for some reason, then she says, bring it over, I'll do it. So. So sometimes she squeezes me in between her other clients. Heather says, same. I have several I need quilted and have to save up. Yep. And Lynn Violet says, top stitching has to be matching or contrast. Depends on project. Yep. You do whatever you want. Sandra says, my long armor knows I like simple, basic white or off-white. Yeah, that's what I usually get done. Or like a light gray, maybe. It's kind of a neutral color usually, but it's not always just the same color. I think the last one I got quilted from her was that gem one I did for my sister and I did for my mom a couple years ago. We gave it to her last year when she turned 80. And that was sort of I think she actually used a variegated medium gray, but it was sort of several tones of medium gray because the background of the gems was like a tone-on-tone black. And all the gems were solid colors of like all of our family gemstones. So there was a multitude of colors. So it wasn't anything you could like pick particularly. And the back was just sort of a flowery fabric that was most of the colors, because most of my family, like our birthdays are like March, September, my husband's December. So and purples, there was lots of blues and purples. So we picked a flowery fabric that was mostly blues and purples, and that was the backing. So you couldn't really see the quilting on the back anyway. Sandra says, I need to get unlazy and send her the measurements. Go for it, Sandra. Okay, so just because I have this here, I'm going to box this one first. So let me grab my little ruler, though. And my pen. Look at my pen over there. Okay, no, here we go. There's the red pen. That will do. I hope you all can see this adequately enough. I'll try to line myself up properly. Okay. So reach in here and flip this open like this. So your seam's kind of looking at you. And sugar it with your fingers so that the seam lines up. best you can. You can kind of feel it. You can flip one way and sort of snug them up. Just get it as straight as you can for, you know, that far down. Kind of fiddle it. There, that's better. That feels reasonably close together and straight. Relatively flat. Okay, lay it down on a flat surface. Make sure you don't have anything stuck underneath it. Smooth it all down. Yeah, it moved on me. Hang on. There. Okay. There. Now, ruler. Rule of thumb for this is whatever measurement you do up this way is about half of what you do this way. Make sense? So I've got my little ruler. Get the right way around here. This always messes me up. I got to look at it a couple times. Use your diagonal, your 45. Line it up on the edge like that. So my 45 is right there. It's on the edge of my fabric. And scoot it down however you want the size of your box. So I'm sort of lining up. Let's see. I think I'm going to go 2. So I'm lining up the 2 line on my ruler with the seam. Just kind of tweak it into place there. It moved on me again there. That's better. Okay, so 45 on the edge, the measurement you want on the seam. Then hold it good. Draw your line. I know my hand's in the way, sorry. And the pen was in my mouth. There. Okay. Nice, obvious red line. Pin it. Because you don't want it flipping around and going all weird. So stick a pin there. Yep, Sandra says keeping up with the little ones takes up my time. Yep, for sure. Okay, so once you have it how you want it, you sew on that line. Back tack good, go across. There's your corner. Do the other corner of the lining exactly the same. Do the corners of the outside exactly the same. That way, when you put the bag together, it will kind of nest itself together. As soon as you put stuff in it, it kind of tightens itself down in the bottom anyway. Okay? Make sense? Does everybody get that? It's not that difficult. You just have to finagle it into position, make sure you're pretty straight, and measure it carefully. Sandra says it makes sense. Good. I hope I was clear enough. Okay, so that's my next task, is to do all these measurements and sew those lines. Now, what you can also do, depending, once you have this sewn, this is like extra and you don't need it. Some people leave it. Who cares? It's at the bottom of the bag. Don't matter. You can also like tack it up, like fold it and like tack stitch it up there. Usually I just sew and cut it off about 3/8. I just take my scissors and go, whoop. That's what I like to do. Your own choice. I just don't like the bulk, but it doesn't matter. I mean, like do that. Who cares? It's out of the way that way too. Doesn't really matter. Okay. So next chore is all that. What I'll try to do eventually too is take pictures of like what I've got done and show you. Now, I want to show you the other one that's partly in the works too before I finish up here. I don't want to take you too much of your time up, everybody, because I got yammering on and didn't realize what time it was. Okay, so one sec, I'm grabbing it. I have dark blue straps cut out for the next one. This is the outside of the bag. I have 2 pieces. This will be the lining. Oops, I haven't cut it yet though. Cute together, right? Yes. And for those of you who weren't here when I was sewing the pocket, let me grab it. This pocket's a bit smaller, so I'm probably not going to do a line down the middle. So imagine, put that down. Can you guys see that okay, if I can do that? Imagine, okay, lining. I think I'm going to put the pocket with the blue out because it pops up better on this, and there's so much red going on here. I think it might be too much red. It might be red overkill. I'll think about it though, because that also looks good too. I don't know. When I go do it, I'll figure it out. So that one's like partially done. The pocket's good. I have the 2 pieces of strap cut. I have 7/8 battings, little bits cut up. So that one's going to go and get made the same as the one I'm just doing. Okay. Heather's got her kids at home. Okay. There. All right, everybody get that? My Gmail is in the main part of my channel in the about thing. You might have to prove you're not a robot or something, but it's pretty easy to find. If you want to ask me stuff, ask me. But yeah, once this uploads, if I remember, and if I forget, someone please email me and say, hey, Kelly, I thought you were going to put that link up. Because I have lots of stuff I have to do. So sometimes the brain goes, whoop. I'm just putting pins in my little pin thing instead of having them laying around on the table where they can fall. I'll stick the link in for the bag that I made myself. It's not exactly the same because I put a lot of pockets in it, but that's what I wanted. The basic bag is pretty much what you just saw. That. But if you want to make a bag and throw pockets in it, that's fine. I mean, yes, my bag is probably a little bit more sturdier than my friend's bags were, but I can still fold it up easily in my suitcase. It's fine. It's not a biggie. See you, Lynn. Bye, Liz. Need to make dinner. Yep. Happy sewing to all. Sandra K says, yep, love pockets. You know that denim bag I made with the zipper? The dang zipper's busted already. It must have been a faulty one. I didn't do anything to it. I just put it in the bag, and now it's like, damn. So whatever. I mean, the bag's still good. I have big safety pins. I just close it that way. Irritating nonetheless, though. Anywho, that's me for today. So 2 weeks from now, I should be good to go. Sorry about the 3rd. I couldn't do live then. Well, actually, it turned out I probably could have because the Wi-Fi at the campground was not bad. And I did bring the laptop. So I could have just gone with audio and video on that and just kind of showed you where we were camping and stuff. But whatever, it's kind of boring. So 2 weeks from now, 31st, I might do some stitching for live. Pardon me as my eye runs. Just because of it being the 31st. So what I've been doing, I saw this from somewhere. I don't even know who did it. On the 25th of the month, I stitch on Christmas themed projects. On the 13th and the 31st, I stitch Halloween themed projects. So I started it 2 weeks ago on the 13th, and I stitched on It's Halloween Night. So I'd be scheduled to stitch on it again on the 31st. And then I'm also going to stitch on it on August 13th and August 31st, and maybe even September the 13th. And then I'll put it in my video at the end of September. But because it's the 31st, and I would be stitching on it anyway, I might do this live stitching. And that way, who's ever here can see me work on it. And then later on, I'll put more on it, and you'll see it later on in a video. Make sense? I'll see how it goes. Heather says fun. Cool. Okay, we'll see. I'll put something up to show you guys what it is. So I got to do a million things for the rest of the day. See y'all. Happy sewing, everybody. Bye.